Hello, you beautiful souls. I'm here very casually today. I've got Riley sleeping here, so it's just going to be us being gentle, real. I want to talk about something that's quietly destroying a lot of happiness in the world today, in our hearts, in our lives, and that thing is expectations. One of the biggest sources and with this new understanding that I'm about to share with you here, we can divert that and still find happiness. It's like happiness is a birth certificate. We're all born with it, but sometimes we just don't know where it is. It's in our house. We just got to find it. And I want to bring that happiness to a point where things inside of yourself feel more good or bad. You can still ride that wave in the middle of the yin yang, still dance the dance. Like Alan Watts said, the whole point of dancing is the dance. That's how I see the yin yang teachings is there is dark, there is light. But if we can just ride that wave in the middle, we can navigate the human suffering, which is the human condition. So one of the biggest sources of suffering I see in relationships and parenting and healing, spirituality, it's not what happens, it's what we expected to happen. We expect people to understand us. We expect healing to look a certain way. We expect life to meet us where we are. And when it doesn't, we suffer. Expectations are premeditated disappointments in a way. Now, not because life is cruel, but because reality is alive and not scripted, as is our human experience. And in the shamanic Toltec teachings, especially in the Four Agreements, we're taught something very radical, that freedom comes from releasing expectations instead of expecting others to behave a certain way, expecting outcomes, expecting ourselves to be different than we are. Instead of all that, we're practicing non-attachment, curiosity, personal responsibility, clean perception. And one of the deepest Toltec truths is this, that suffering comes not from what is, but from the story we attach to what should be. And this is the thing about shoulds. I had a coach one time that said, Ashley, why are you shitting on yourself? Because it's very much like shitting on yourself. So these shoulds, if we could turn them into coulds, we would learn lessons. We would be able to learn things a little bit easier because, sometimes life is yelling at us, but we don't hear it until it's in our face and we're hurt. And as parents, we see this all the time. Our children, instead of listening, will learn things the hard way. And when we can be more mindful as adults, we can see that instead of approaching things from a should mindset, it could be a what if mindset, or I could, or I'd be willing to. So it's just a little thing. It's not about spiritual bypassing, it's about radical honesty. And expectations sneak in quietly. Maybe it sounds like, I thought they would show up. I thought I'd be further along by now. I thought healing would fix this. I thought motherhood would feel different. I thought the psychedelic experience would be different. And suddenly we're not present. Instead, we're negotiating with reality. But while reality changes and we also don't have much control of it, we got to be present with it, accept, surrender. And when we're negotiating or resisting, it can be very exhausting, especially for the nervous system, but also our minds. And when we're able to actually release expectations. We don't become passive like you may think. Instead, we become available. And this is where the real sacred responsibility comes in, the magic, the alchemy. Having no expectations doesn't mean having no standards. It means that we stop outsourcing our peace. It becomes our sacred responsibility to meet reality as it is and respond consciously, not from punishment, not from control, but from truth. And this is something that psychedelics and entheogenic experiences teach very clearly. When people go into experiences with rigid expectations, like expecting visions, expecting healing, expecting answers, they often struggle more. But when they enter with openness instead of expectations, the medicine meets them exactly where they are. Psychedelics don't reward control, they reward surrender. And the real integration is learning how to live that way after. Like after ecstasy, the laundry, right? Um, so letting go of expectations is one of the most powerful integration practices there is. So I've got for you something very simple you can try in your own life. It's, just about noticing disappointment. Um, ask yourself, what was I expecting? Did I clearly communicate it or did I assume? Assumptions make an ass out of you and me, so we really need to check in with ourselves before we wreck ourselves about assumptions. Um, you need to also ask, can I meet what's here without the story attached? Practicing that disattachment, sure. Like have a plan, have a goal, but then disattach yourself from the outcome and allow things to show up. It might be different than what you expect. It probably will be, most of the time it is, but it may also be better or lead to better things. Maybe not in the moment, but life's often conspiring in our favor. And it's important to believe and have faith in that. And this alone can shift everything. Freedom isn't about life giving us what we want. It's truly likely not going to happen. Not in the ways you expect anyway. It can be very giving and beautiful, but, you know, it's also about releasing the grip that says it has to look this way for me to be okay. It's about letting go of that control. And that's when presence really returns. That's when the heart softens. That's when healing actually lands and stays. Expectations keep us negotiating with life, but surrender lets us live in it. And with that, I'm going to go for now. I'm going to go cuddle my baby, hang out with my family. But I wish you all the best. And if you want to connect more, just send a message or a text. We will, see each other again.